Machen wir Slay the Princess an. Play. Und dann haben wir wieder die Stream-Info. Slay the Princess. Oh, pristine. Gehen wir die Princess slayen. Ja, mal gucken. Geht das jetzt auch an? Ach, da haben wir es. Okay. Subtitle Language. Aber mal Deutsch für die Leute, die kein Englisch können. Warum ist das so ein komisches... Also. Horrorspiel und nicht für alle Personen geeignet. Say Princess enthält flackernde Bilder sowie einen Parallax-Effekt, der bei Spielern in seltenen Fällen Übelkeit auslöst. Okay. Ja, welchen Schritt an dieses Lookout-Booking ist fast ja Herz und Bahn, die einwickeln durch. Es gibt keine frühzeitigen Enden, es gibt keine falschen Entscheidungen. Es gibt nur neue und unverbrauchte Perspektiven und Neuanfänge. Das ist eine Liebensgeschichte. Okay. Ich gehe erstmal... Hier, Vollbild bitte. Dankeschön. So. Let's slay the princess. The Hero and the Princess, Chapter 1. Okay.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, das ist nicht schlimm, meinst du nicht? Kann es nicht jemand anders machen? Hast du schon in Betracht gezogen, dass ich es begrüßen könnte, wenn die Welt endet?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Kriegt er eine Belohnung?
You'll have to slay her before you get it.
Kannst du mir verraten, was meine Belohnung ist?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Ich weiß nicht. Ich gehe.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Natürlich weiß ich das.
There won't be a new dawn if the world ends. There'll just be nothing forever. Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all. You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Yeah, do I care? Lass mich von denen nicht emotional
Stakes
pressen.
and consequences aren't emotional blackmail. They're facts of life, and if you had an ounce of maturity, you'd understand that. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Oh
would you
my
look at
God.
that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
Sie wären oder ich habe keine andere Wahl. Dann laufe ich immer in eine andere Richtung los. Schon wieder. Ich bahne mir einfach so lange einen Weg durch die Wildnis, bis ich irgendwann von hier
There's
entkomme.
always a choice. Let me tell you right now.
Oh, warum
you're
ist die
making
Musik weg?
the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses
Da ist dieses
of familiar wooden
fucking Hütte
structures
wieder.
through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
Oh mein Gott, das ist bescheuert. Warte. Ich mach gerade nur was an der Kamera. Mit dem ein schönes Gesicht besser sehen könnt. So. Bin ich ein bisschen näher dran.
Wait, what's going on? You're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world. You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness.
Ich glaube, ich habe das
It's
erste
not
Ende
like
gefunden.
that time spent lost in the woods really matters because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Kapitel 2, die Fremde. Okay.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Ist das eine Wand?
And
Was
in the
ist das?
basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Ich bin gerade schrecklich, dass Moment, ist das nicht auch schon mal passiert? Die Wände gab es erstmal noch nicht. Ich weiß nicht, einfach das Zwingungssituation. Yep, okay, ich gehe jetzt zur Hütte, wo ich definitiv die Prinzessin erschlagen werde. Lügen. Ich gehe schon zur Hütte, gehe schnell zur Hütte.
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience. He might have walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his day. If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet. And you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task.
Erzähler, du bist auch nur eine Stimme in meinem Kopf.
You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you.
Nö.
A warning.
Das ist diese Attack on Titan Wand einfach.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind.
Okay.
The cabin interior is wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space. But it's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense. The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust.
No.
Or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway? No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise? You can't just say that. But when everything here is so wrong. Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action, save the entire world. And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her. Oh, you've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we lose ourselves? Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together. Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay calm. How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us. I'm not going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind. Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird. What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard. Okay, I'm fine. Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to complete a very important task.
Ja, die Spiegel, nimm die Klinge. Du hast den Spiegel an der Wand gar nicht erwähnt, stimmt.
We should look at ourselves. Wouldn't that be fun? You won't be looking at yourself because there isn't a mirror. There's the table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement.
Ich traue dem Erzähler nicht. Ich traue dem nicht.
There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. You insisting it isn't there just makes me want to look at it even more. We shouldn't waste time preening. If he is lying about the mirror, it might be important. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? So we're all in agreement then. We're looking. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. Reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right
Okay. Warum sieht unsere Hand so aus?
But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone. You know that taking the mirror away from us isn't going to change things, right? We'll find it again, and then we'll see whatever it is that you don't want us to see.
Ich lasse die Klinge liegen.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials. Nothing here seems to belong.
Ich bin in meinem ersten Playthrough und ich habe alles kaputt gemacht schon.
Confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere, let alone down. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it, the kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. An odor that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
No, thank you. Oh, don't be such a baby. I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die. We don't even have a weapon. But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure.
Und was?
And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
Mitte. Komm.
You step onto the center staircase. Paths wind out around you in all directions, each step branching into its own staircases, which branch into their own staircases, and so on. You aren't quite sure if yours is taking you up or down, but at the very least, it's taking you somewhere. You concentrate on where you are, careful not to stray onto any of the many splitting branches that tempt you on all sides. You wouldn't want to have to backtrack to yours once you'd made a decision that took you someplace else. And so you take one careful, focused step after another. One foot down, another foot down, another after that. You lose yourself in following the correct pattern, in following what looks to be the true path, the one that cuts straight down, or up, or maybe sideways. But no matter the direction it goes, it certainly is the most true path. You know that much.
Das weiß ich gar nicht, aber okay.
You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go. Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to untether.
Oh Gott.
Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey. A continuous march.
Ich hab's kaputt gemacht. Es ist das erste Mal, dass ich es durchspiele. Das erste Ending und ich habe schon alles kaputt gemacht. Gut.
Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as...
Can I help you?
Oh Gott.
What the hell was that? What happened to us? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs.
Ich bin verwirrt.
Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down. You're here to... He's just being an ass. We remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you.
Nö.
Let's talk to her for a bit. Try and get our bearings. She seems normal.
Wie heißt du hier runterzukommen? Das kannst du hier angeben, das ja, weißt du. Das ist ein
I don't remember what it was like before I was in this place. Why would I know what happened to you? We're probably stuck down here forever, aren't we? There's no way out, and barely a way in.
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures.
Gott.
Where there was once just one of her,
Hi, Chopin.
there is now
How
another.
are you?
We can do that? I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back? You said you'd been here before, right? What exactly happened last time? Does it matter? Yes, it matters. But I'm not going to waste any more time prying out details if you're going to be so irritating about it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it?
I'm currently concentrated on this mindfuck thing that is happening right now.
Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your head, unthink them. If it's not already too late. You have a job to do here and you need to do it now. Ooh, new plan. Let's see. if we
what
can
are you
get even
eating?
More of her.
Princess.
Just princess?
It doesn't matter. I've been down here for so long. What's the point of a name if there's no one around to use it?
Warum? Why can't I? Why is that like 3 altogether? Tomato, spinach, and lettuce with some olive oil. Nice. Rice and chicken. Nice, sounds delicious.
There must be something wrong with you. I'm the same as I was a moment ago. I don't feel like I've gotten any bigger. And what's that supposed to mean? Are you trying to get under my skin?
God.
She fractures again. I don't like where this is going.
Healthy food, yeah.
Neither do I. Which is why you need to slay her now before things get more complicated than they already are.
No, but I like things being complicated.
How would we even do that? Where would we start? We'd always start by retrieving the blade. Can
No.
we even leave this place? I don't like thinking about what might happen to us if we have to go back through those stairs. Well, that's where the blade is. If you want it, you'll have to go and get it. I don't think we're going to be able to put her back. Kind of hurts to think about it, doesn't it? It's like everything we say just multiplies her. It certainly looks that way, so please, for the love of everything, stop asking her questions and stop stalling. You're obviously just making things worse.
Let's ask more questions then.
Is this a quiz? If you're here, then surely you know why I'm here.
No, I don't.
But you know, right? You have to know. You're the only other person I've ever seen. Or at least the only one I can remember. Don't give me false hope. Please just end this already. One way or another, just do it.
I'm good. Life is good. We're gonna go to a Christmas market tomorrow. I'm already very excited about that. I did cry earlier because I finished like the Pokemon game that Johannes made for me, and he put some very sweet stuff in there that, you know, really made me emotional. It was good tears. It was good tears, but still.
Don't be coy. We both know why I'm locked away here. I'm a monster, and the second I get out of this place, I'm going to end the entire world.
Like, he put, like, at the end after the final boss, he is a gallant motherfucker. He put my, grandmother in the game and like had her say very sweet stuff, you know, that she's waiting to rinse it. But my grandmother is deceased, by the way, so yeah, and I miss her terribly. And he put her in the house with like my dog that is also dead and that I also miss a lot. And yeah, I was crying.
Okay, this was fun for a bit, but we can't even really interact with her, can we? What's the point of asking questions if all we're going to get is a million answers? Can't even follow what's going on anymore. We need to get out of here. This whole place is making me itch.
I don't think I can answer that question in a way you'd find meaningful. I just want to live my life. I'm not going to dance for you. Besides, you already know what I'm going to do. If you want to put an end to me, then put an end to me.
Not a single real answer. At least aside from Miss Blood and Destruction, it's infuriating, isn't it? Whose buttons are there for us to press? Whose skin is there for us to get under? Not exactly how I put it, but I don't disagree. There must be something we can do. Asking questions just seems to make things worse.
Just notice I have not cried in 7. That is not good. Crying is actually important for your mental health.
This is reaching its breaking point. If you don't act now, there will be nothing in here but her. Take a deep breath and focus up. You can do. But how do we decide what to do? Can there even be a right choice when all of them are so different? Stop overthinking it. Your drifting thoughts have clearly been part of the reason this situation has gotten out of hand. If you're trying to do the right thing, there's only ever been the one option, and that option is slaying her. Just do something. Do anything. Do all of it, if that's what you want. This place is hell, and it's only getting worse.
Why can't I, like, this is 3 different things, but I can only, like, I can...
Wait, that's not right.
Oh, it's supposed to be not right.
Go on. You take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride.
But anyways, let's just ignore the implications of that.
You feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions. You find the blade suddenly in your hands. All at once you use it to strike at her bindings as you remain upstairs and slay her and leave her to languish alone.
Oh my god, I'm scared.
Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess. But this... we can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now. No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating. Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all falls apart. I think he's gone. We were never going to salvage this, were we?
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and the others, they just don't fit. We can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable. Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
I wish I could.
We should help her. I think we did this. How surprisingly sincere. I didn't actually think our actions had consequences.
I didn't actually think our actions had consequence. Great.
It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Please.
I'll do my best. Oh, what? Ugh. Ugh. Oh my god, where is she? Illusion of choice. You don't know if she could have heard your answer. She's gone and something else has taken her
She's
place.
gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she is, and I also don't know if we should
Right.
look for her.
She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing.
I don't know what happens. I am as clueless as you are. This is my first playthrough of this game.
Then what the hell are we supposed to do? Yes. Does that mean the world ended? Again, what the hell are we supposed to do? There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. No. Don't do that.
No, I'm gonna
I'm
look
begging
into
you,
it.
Don't.
Yeah, the mirror didn't make you afraid earlier anyways.
It's different now. It feels... I don't know.
I'm just seeing that I am blocking the answers that I can give, so let's just... I'm gonna move here. It's dead silent while you reach out your hand. They're gone, but this mirror is still there. It is time that you see what's in it. That is you. Yeah, mirrors tend to reflect, and I look like I'm a monster. Is that why I have to slay the princess? 'Cause I'm a monster. You're alone in an empty place. It's quiet here. Go to the... Okay. Go to the cabin. You're in front of the cabin. Oh, there she is. Hi, princess.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
I don't know. I don't know what I am.
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
Trying to survive, yeah. Wait, now you can't see. Oh my god, where am I supposed to put myself? I'll put myself down here. I hope I'll be fine over here. 'Cause I think over here is also not good. Let's see. Is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
That's true. Yeah, I also think that ship has sailed. A fragile
Yes.
vessel.
Nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond. Perspectives to make my own. These ones are a contradiction. A winding kaleidoscope of paths and walls. They are
Still in
stretched
the
into
way.
a shape not unlike me. but it is a shape they cannot hold.
Just gonna stay down here and hope I don't.
I am sorry that you met this vessel so early in your journey, but they will make for a rich and vibrant heart. Do not mourn them, for they will finally get to know themselves.
Mm-hmm. Do you know something about the worlds outside?
I know only that they are.
Do you know the narrator?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
But was the princess always a part of you, or did you just get that?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Do we know each other?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
What happens now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
How many pieces of you must I find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
Okay. How much will I forget?
Everything. Until we meet again.
Okay. Are you not afraid that I could kill you?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
Good. Well, nice answer. I was sent to slay the princess and to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, will you destroy the world?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
What will you do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Alright, let me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes black, and you die. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
So we're back at the beginning.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Parts of the dialogue that you already know can... Alright, yeah, I can skip stuff. Okay. Wait, I don't think I can turn around again, so I cannot accidentally get the same ending. Cannot... Does the cabin have food? Can it save the world with an empty stomach? I don't know if I can ask that. Let's see. Did you consider that maybe she wants to destroy the world because she's imprisoned?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
But killing a princess sounds pretty bad, don't you think?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Forget it, I don't want to do it.
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
Alright. Alright, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to her. And if she's actually as bad as you say she is, I will think about if I will slay her. But I will decide when I have talked to her.
I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
But you need to save the princess usually.
Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
I'll go talk to her.
You make your way up the short path.
She seemed nice.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Hero's voice.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Let's go to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
I'll just go to the cellar without the blade.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Lie. I can say I am here to save you, but I can also lie and say I'm here to save you. I'm here to save you.
How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
No, I don't lie. I will save her. Hello?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever.
She doesn't sound evil.
Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
I don't think she does.
There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
Do I care? Alright, let us talk first. I said I would talk to her first.
Okay.
Yeah, psst. What's your name?
Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
So Princess is your name.
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted.
But wouldn't...
Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
But wouldn't she... Like, if she was a master manipulator, like the narrator is trying to tell us, then, you know, she would have told me a fake name. Yeah, if you've been here for ages and no one has been here, what did you eat and drink?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant.
Why is it not relevant?
Okay, but actually, what
Yeah,
has
thank
she
you,
been
hero.
eating? She has to eat, right?
Alright. I'll get you out of here.
Only making this more difficult.
Because if she eats, she's human.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
Yeah, I don't care.
No, you're doing the right thing.
Thank you.
Walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug.
Right, but being a supernatural being doesn't mean that she's evil.
They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Do we have another idea if there's no key?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
Oh my god. Well, I guess if you've been there for ages, that's kind of you'd kind of be more open to the idea to just cut your arm off to get out.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free.
Yeah, exactly what I was saying.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
What? Who locked me in? Oh my
Someone else
god.
here?
Let's try
You try
open
the
the door.
But it's locked from the outside.
What the fuck?
Your shouts
Let me
and
out.
pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
But I don't have the knife. Alright, I'll go back.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates.
Oh my god.
Oh
my God.
Tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
What if you could? Why didn't you do that earlier before I even arrived? Oh my god, princess! What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay.
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her.
Yeah.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
I'll free her.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade
The
against the
eyes
ragged,
and like the
self-inflicted
blood. Like
wound
she
on the
has such a
princess's
cute
arm,
look,
just
and
above the
then this is
unyielding chain
happening.
binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Yeah. Is she not bleeding? I don't know. This is a horror game. Let's go to the door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world.
You don't get a say.
As the princess
No!
approaches
Oh my
the bottom
god.
stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
Narrator, stop
Watch
it.
me.
No.
What are you doing?
No. Oh no, I can't. I can't. Warn her! Oh my, I can warn her.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall.
The
before
narrator
blade has
is
a
the
chance to
evil
connect.
one. He's been evil, like in the first round, he's also just been trying to manipulate me. The narrator is the one that's manipulative.
Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Alright, I can Try to
The
resist.
blade. Move the blade.
No.
As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
Maybe you are evil. I mean, I do, like, the hand, it does look like a monster's hand. And that is why I have to slay the princess, I think, because I am with a monster, but I don't want to.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
Yeah, because I'm not in control. Like, I would have killed myself probably as well, because instead of harming her.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark. And you die.
I die. Chapter 2, The Damsel.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her. If you don't...
I think I'm having deja vu.
A terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
I'm pretty sure it's the fourth, but the character doesn't remember the first two.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Alright, have a nice nap. Yeah, that is why I got that game, because I heard it was good.
Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it. Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess.
I am not your messenger, Chopin. You can go tell Erzon what you want to tell him.
Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works.
The four of us?
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
That's more than just deja vu. I'm pretty sure that all of this has just happened.
We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the world. So let's just agree to disagree.
Alright. Let's suppose I say the truth. Thank you so much for the bonk. I needed that. And all of that has already happened. Why should I listen to you? Why should I even do anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
No, it happened because you took control of my body.
You were the one who did us in, villain. Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to stop us from rescuing her. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone princess is worth that price. I beg to differ. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that whoever is making the decisions here has the common sense to ignore your protestations. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
That is a good question.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
There's like no way of knowing that, because we died. Because of the narrator.
She would never. She's a perfect angel that you cruelly imprisoned as part of some convoluted, dastardly scheme. Convoluted? I don't know how this premise could be any more simple. Princess bad, stop her, save everyone.
I see it like them. I will try to find a way to save the princess from the cabin.
That's right, you can't stop all of us. We're going to sweep her off her feet if it's the last
Alright,
thing
he is going on my
anyone
nerves.
does. Are these really the sorts of people you'd like to align yourself with? You're not at the cabin yet. You still have plenty of time to reflect on the situation. I just hope for all our sakes that you make the right call.
I will. Let's talk about the princess.
Just be quick about it.
She could kill me last time just because I let her. She could barely hold a knife. How could someone like that destroy the world?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. Maybe it's her beauty that threatens the world.
Her beauty.
Sure, it's her beauty. Why not? And before you ask, no, we can't just keep her down there. If you don't slay her, she's going to find a way out. It's unfortunate, I know, but it's just the way it is.
But who put her in the cellar? What is this place?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
Yeah, he's really not trustworthy. He doesn't want to tell me stuff. Yeah, what are you keeping from me?
I told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail will just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word.
Sure. Why couldn't the people that locked her in there slay her? Why do I have to do it?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps. But it's just the way things are.
Oh, I didn't know we were special.
Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
Calling us special isn't going to make us friends, even if it did feel nice.
Yeah, it did feel nice.
Oh, believe me, the last thing I want is for you and I to be friends. But I'm a professional, and I'm not going to let my dislike for you get in the way of helping you save the world. Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
I could just turn around and walk away again. Oh, no. I'll go to the cabin. Try and save her.
A warning, before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from...
We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice.
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
Yeah, save the princess. Let's go.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its
That's
stone
different.
walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
The cabin is different than last time.
Very different.
Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Stop letting yourself get distracted. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how... But there was a mirror a second ago.
And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
I'll take the blade, but I won't kill her.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
I suppose if we're to play the role of dashing knight, we need an equally dashing sword. That way she'll know we can defend her from her enemies.
Exactly.
Hopefully it doesn't put her on edge, and hopefully it doesn't get turned on us. Again, there's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took the blade. You'll need it to do your job. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, a soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells
Oh my
all...
God,
I've held my
shut up.
tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning.
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist,
binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
Yes, I've been saying. Oh my god.
That's right, villain. And you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
I'm sorry what happened last time. The narrator that sent me here to kill you took over my body. It was all very unfair.
Another version of me was pushed to such drastic action. It was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
What happened after my death?
You died, and now we're talking.
Okay. Do I have to cut you loose again? I didn't find that easy last time.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
Oh my god. That is such people-pleasing behavior. That's me. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm fine with everything. You can cut my hand off. You can torture me. I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't want to impose myself.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done. What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
Save the princess.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, you'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? Yes. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings, and doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings.
It actually worked.
That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you. There's no life more worth living
She's
than
so
that
cute.
of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Are you sure you want to do this? Just one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade is buried in her back, and everyone out there is saved. Is that a threat? You know what we'll do if you try it. You're going to regret this.
What do we do now?
We leave this place and then we'll have our whole life to find out what we want to do next.
That sounds perfect.
Oh my god.
As the princess takes your hand in hers, you let your blade tumble uselessly to the floor, and with it tumbles the last hope for the entire world. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending. I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with.
And she's so cute. How could she destroy the world? She's not gonna.
You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see.
Oh
Oh, isn't
god.
that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength.
Oh, just
Enough
shut
with
up.
this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you will ever know.
He's annoying me as well. Like, I know he's on my side, but
Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
we can probably open it if we try together.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door.
It's annoying as fuck.
Together.
Yeah.
Blech. And the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way upstairs. Her freedom and the world's ruin are just a few moments away. If you don't mind, I'm going to fix myself a drink before you ruin everything. If I'm about to see the end of the world, I'd rather not see it sober. You know, if her walking out that door is really going to end the world, can't we all just stay here? Seems like an easy win for everyone. That's not how this works. Yes, what he said. That's not how this works. Obviously, we have to leave with her. It's our happy ending.
Let's try that. To be happy, we only need each other. Why don't we stay here and build our life here?
What a romantic suggestion. You're right.
Oh my god.
We don't need the world. All we need is each other. That's exactly what I just suggested. Was it not romantic when I suggested it? Did you suggest that? I wasn't listening. You answered me.
But the door's right there. We can just leave.
Wait. Why would she say that? Was she not wooed by our proclamation of love? Are we not enough for her?
I do understand not wanting to stay locked up in the cabin.
She's not wooed by you because staying here and building a life together isn't a solution. It isn't anything. It's a non-answer. It can't be done.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay,
Okay. She's me.
that's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin, and then you step outside.
See, nothing's happening.
A happy ending at last.
We did it! What should we do now?
Oh no.
Where did everything go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved...
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
Oh no, the hands again. Goodbye. Es ist Zeit für dich zu gehen. Deine Erinnerungen kehren
She's
zurück.
gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
Natürlich habt ihr Angst, das ist das Ende für euch, aber nicht für mich.
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now. Do it then. End us all before I die of a broke.
I will not miss you. I grew. Oh my god. So I change as well. It's not only the princess that changes. I am in the long silence again. Let's go to the cabin.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Are you still the same than before? How much did you change?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Everything you say is a riddle. Can't you just answer clearly?
I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions.
Not true.
The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between.
What does it feel like to change like that?
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
When everything's over, what will you do?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
What do you think about this vessel?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
You should think of me as a monster. I have heard the vessels that I bring you.
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them, you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
Who should I bring you next?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
When I come back, it's like an invisible wall closing around me. Why can't I do some things anymore?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
You're better to me than anyone else I have met, thank you.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
You don't have any preference how you want to change or develop?
My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
What if I don't want to bring you any more vessels? What if I wait here forever?
Then we will remain here as we are now, barely finished, damp, cavernous.
Yeah, I could have think. I don't have a reason to wait. I'm ready to go back.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
The Hero and the Princess, Chapter 1.
You're on a path in the woods.
Alright. Ich muss Duolingo machen. Noch ganz schnell, bevor wir weitermachen. Es ist wichtig, sonst wird der Vogel meine Familie töten. So. Oh mein Gott, das ist auch noch ein Listening Exercise.
Welcome back to Lucy is Listening, where I uncover hidden messages in everyday conversations. Before we listen in, here are a few words you should know. 公園買いますきれい花 I'm your host Lucy, and today we're listening to two people in a gift shop. こんにちは、カイさん。
こんにちは、花さん。上の公園はとても綺麗なところですね。
はい、本当に綺麗ですね。この綺麗な花はどうですか？はい、本当に綺麗ですね。この綺麗
素敵ですね。このポストカードを買いますか？素敵ですね。このポストカードを買いますか？
はい、私はポストカードとお土産を買います。
いいですね。じゃあ、次のレストランはどうですか？
ラーメン屋がいいです。行きま ましょう。 Postcards and souvenirs, you say? Sounds like someone's covering their tracks after an international mission. These are classic tools of a seasoned traveler. I'll get to the bottom of this. Remember, I'm always listening.
Okay. That was fun. Completed the lesson. Yes, this came my reward streak. And done. Now we can continue playing without me losing my streak. Alright, let's go the route of just go kill her.
That's the spirit.
Hi Ramschpanda. Hallo, hallo. Bist du jemand, der rübergekommen ist von meinem anderen Stream? Oder? Weil du hast mir gefolgt, sehe ich gerade. Schon vor ein paar Tagen. Ja.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Wir kennen uns. Bist du der Janis? Oder bist du sonst jemand?
We're not going to go through with this, right? Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
we already know all of this. Setz den Weg zur Hütte fort. Vielleicht. Okay. Das ist ein Ja.
The interior of the cabin is almost entire.
Ja, das kennen wir auch alles. Wir nehmen die Klinge.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world.
So, wir haben sie gerettet vorhin. Das heißt, jetzt bringen wir sie um und danach können wir
The door to the basement
Mix
creaks
und
open,
Match machen.
revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp. A hint of rot. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down
Ja,
here.
die hört sich tatsächlich anders an als vorhin.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hallo, ich glaube, ich soll dich töten.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Wie ist das Spiel? Es macht Spaß. Es ist ein sehr großer Mindfuck. Ich glaube, weil man spielt immer wieder durch das gleiche Ding und halt kriegt halt verschiedene Endings, aber es ist trotzdem noch immer so ein ganzes Spiel. Immer am Ende erinnert sich der Charakter wieder an die vorherigen Playthroughs und mein erstes Playthrough, ich habe ein richtiges abgefucktes Ende gekriegt.
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
Mhm.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
Es ist super interessant.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
Also ich habe gerade schon, ich bin jetzt schon zweimal durch. Das erste Mal bin ich einfach nicht zur Hütte gegangen und dann hat die Welt sich einfach aufgelöst und irgendwie alle möglichen Versionen der Prinzessin sind so in eine verschmolzen. Das war, wie gesagt, es war sehr abgefuckt. Und das zweite Mal habe ich sie gerettet. Und da war sie richtig lieb und süß. Und jetzt denke ich mir, kill ich sie einfach mal gucken, was passiert.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Slay the princess.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die.
Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face.
But is it over? Really over?
Glaube ich nicht. Nein, es war zu einfach.
It's over. Don't get all worked up.
We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse?
I really don't think you should do that.
And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us?
I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that.
Worum geht's genau in dem Spiel? Frag mich nicht. Also, es heißt Slay the Princess. Du startest jedes Mal im Wald und der Erzähler sagt dir, kill die Prinzessin. Töte die Prinzessin. Und dann kannst du dir aussuchen, was du machst. Das ist so Choose Your Own Adventure ein bisschen. Ja, und ich glaube tatsächlich, je nachdem, was du machst, ändert sich halt die Prinzessin. Es gibt immer mehrere Kapitel. Genau, ganz normal Montag, genau. Pro Playthrough hast du du hast doch schon zweimal gespielt. Ja, technisch gesehen ja, aber es ist immer noch das erste Playthrough. Wie gesagt, der Charakter erinnert sich danach daran, was in vorherigen Playthroughs passiert hat. Also technisch gesehen, es entwickelt sich immer wieder was. Quasi, da ist irgendwie so ein Viech am Ende, das dann die Version der Prinzessin in sich aufnimmt und dann quasi komplexer wird. Und die wird halt mit jedem Ending komplexer und dann kriegst du wieder neue Dialoge und alles. Und ich muss hier halt immer wieder neue Versionen bringen von der Prinzessin, quasi. Bis wir genug haben. Und sie meinte... Was meinte sie? Ja, sie meinte, ich müsste ihr nicht alle Versionen bringen. Das heißt, ich muss nicht jedes Ending finden, aber einige. Sie ist tot, lass uns einfach verschwinden.
Yes, exactly. It's over.
Das ist quasi
With
Prinception.
your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you.
Why do I feel like we've done something terrible?
You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
Ja, lass mich hier
What's
raus.
done is done. And there's no going back now.
Ich wusste, ich kann dem Erzähler nicht
This
trauen.
is what's best
Der
for
ist
everyone.
bescheuert.
Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. Psst. Hey. We're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
Hast du den Erzähler nicht gehört? Ich bin glücklich, wir sind glücklich. Jedenfalls hast du eine Idee, wie wir hier wegkommen. Nee, wir vertrauen dem Erzähler in diesem Run.
Are we really happy? Or is he just telling us that we are?
Wir sind glücklich, ich bin mir ganz sicher. Me when I'm delusional. Wie ich meine, wenn ich depressiv bin und mir meine Affirmationen im Spiegel sage.
Really? Well, if you ever change your mind, just let me know, I guess. More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning. Please, shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here. The little voices, please, fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
Ja. Good ending. You did it. You saved
You
everything.
have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
Na gut. Vielleicht bin ich doch nicht glücklich und das sage ich nicht nur, weil du der Letzte bist, mit dem ich gesprochen habe.
Good. Because I have an idea to get us out of here. Though you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this.
Man kann einfach...
I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you
okay,
hear
good.
that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare.
Wenn wir die Klinge benutzen, wird uns das nicht... Du weißt schon, umbringen, werden wir dann nicht
How
tot?
astute. You are absolutely correct. Using the blade to kill yourself would kill you, and you shouldn't do it.
Ich finde es wild, dass du mit dem Erzähler redest und einfach die vierte Wand durch. Es ist wild. Was noch wilder war in dem Run, wo ich versucht habe, die Prinzessin zu retten, war der so, nein, du musst die Prinzessin umbringen und hat dann einfach quasi erzählt und unseren Körper übernommen. Hat er halt einfach gesagt, ja, du nimmst das Messer und du erstichst sie jetzt einfach. War auch wild. Das Spiel ist wild, das Spiel ist voll gut.
In a sense we die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even really alive anymore? This place, it's Nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's just the same thing, constantly, forever. I know this is out there, but trust me, I know using the blade will work. That little voice didn't want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you to be happy.
Ich hoffe, du hast recht. Ich werde ziemlich sauer, wenn wir wirklich
If
sterben
we
würden.
die, you can yell at me all you want.
Okay.
I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
Kapitel 2. Der Geist. Okay.
You're on a path in the
Jetzt fängt
woods,
wieder an.
and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her. If you...
Du Mist, ja, jetzt kannst du dich auch auf was gefasst machen. Ich kenne alle
My
Tricks.
tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time.
Gaslighting.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then that's fine. It wasn't very hard to kill her last time. We'll just do it again. Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right place.
Okay. Wir gehen sie wieder töten.
A warning. Before she will lie, she
Ja, ich
won't be a
weiß.
problem. The interior of the cabin is cold, a soft odor of dirt permeating the air.
Das ist der Spiegel schon
Cobwebs
wieder.
flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the
Die
windows.
gleichgültige Vernichtung.
The only
Nein.
furniture of note
Frage.
is an elegant antique table.
Ja,
with
gerne.
a
Stell
pristine blade
deine
perched on the
Frage.
edge.
Alles gut.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time.
Darf ich bei mir Werbung für dich machen? Natürlich. Ich sag nicht nein zu gratis Werbung.
Like I've been saying, she's dead. We killed her already.
Ein Streamer zu streamen, natürlich. Was streamst du denn so? Kann ich auch ein bisschen Werbung für dich machen? So ein bisschen gegenseitig helfen. Ich kann dich ja vielleicht auch mal raiden oder du mich, je nachdem. Okay, wir nehmen die
You
Klinge,
take the blade from the table.
machen
It
das,
will
was
be
der
difficult
Erzähler
to
gerne
slay the
hätte.
princess and save the world without a weapon.
Ignorieren den Spiegel.
The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself feels dead. The room below is silent. Nobody's here. Naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see.
Der Titel vom Kapitel lässt mich schon denken, dass das wahrscheinlich, dass sie ein Geist ist. Aber wie soll ich einen Geist umbringen?
As you descend
sie
the
ist
final
tot.
step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body, lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain. Okay, she's definitely dead.
Im Staubsauger. Aber ich habe keinen Staubsauger. Also ich wollte sagen Luigi-Style.
It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor.
Gerade gar nicht, aber 3 Monaten leider das heißt, dass mein Job viel zu viel Zeit zieht. Oh ja, verstehe ich. Ich habe auch eine Zeit lang nicht gestreamt. als ich angefangen habe, auf der anderen Plattform zu streamen. Ja, deshalb, ich mache ja im Moment nur einmal die Woche auch. Ich arbeite mich da wieder ein bisschen ran. Indie-Zeug und Pokémon ab und zu mal Valorant oder Fortnite. Ach, cool. Vernachlässigt hast du mich. Du kannst von mir aus auch gerne zum anderen Stream kommen, Kine. Tatsächlich tue ich da schlussendlich auch nicht viel mehr als einfach nur rumlabern. Ich habe manchmal das Gefühl, dass ich so viel rumlaber, dass die Leute teilweise vergessen, warum sie eigentlich da sind.
Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous, skeletal grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? Ghost! Oh.
Sieht süß aus.
Wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost
nein,
supposed
Kina.
to do to us?
Oh.
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you. Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again, if we wanted to.
Ja, machen, was der Erzähler haben möchte, ne?
Without a moment's hesitation, you lash out with your blade. It's like you're slashing at air.
Ja, hab ich mir
No matter
gedacht.
how many times you stab at her, no matter how many angles you strike from, all you manage to do is interrupt her form, the skin of your hand prickling with cold as it passes through, unable to find anything solid.
You're adorable when you're confused. But I didn't see you.
Gott. Jumpscare. Die hat gerade noch so süß ausgesehen. Ich hab dir nicht erlaubt, mich zu berühren. Das bin ich, wenn ich gerade überstimuliert bin und mein Freund mich irgendwie auch nur streichelt oder so.
Why are you even here? Just making sure you finish the job, or what?
Erschlage die Prinzessin, aber energisch. Ist im Keller zurück.
You don't look dead, Killer.
The princess grabs your wrist, a sudden shock of cold flowing all the way up your arm, her eyes still fixed on yours as you try to squirm out of her grip.
And you don't feel dead either.
She lets go and pulls away. Your fingertips tingle painfully as the chill subsides.
I'm less interested in why you are, or how you are, and a lot more interested in what you are.
Ich will
I
auch gerne
tried to
wissen.
leave on my own. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls. But I never found a way out. I always wound up right back here. I just want to go home. I'm so cold and alone here. But you can come and go as you please, can't you? So, let me hitch a ride. After all, you own me.
Absolutely not. Is she asking if she can possess us? She is. And I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let her in, there is very little anyone could do to stop her. Would she be able to see us if we went along with it?
Das heißt, was sie machen würde, wäre...
Now isn't that an interesting thought?
Ich auch.
We could finally bring her face to face with him. I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so badly. You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
Was, wenn ich Nein
Then I
sage?
won't hit your rod.
Das heißt, wenn ich Nein sage, tust du es einfach nicht oder kannst du es dann nicht?
I'm sure you'd like to know. It's a shame I won't tell you.
Nachdem ich... Ja, jede Frau würde das machen. Und nachdem... Also ich würde auf jeden Fall, nachdem ich den Propeller gemacht habe, würde ich das Ding wahrscheinlich erstmal in verschiedene Sachen reinstecken. Einfach nur, um zu gucken, wie es sich anfühlt.
But it'll be easier for both of us if you just let me in. And doesn't it sound nice?
Maybe for her, but it's crowded enough in here as is.
You won't have to feel guilty anymore. If you even do feel guilt.
It could be the best way to trap her for good. Doesn't seem like it would be very easy to end the world from inside someone else's body. That is a very dangerous train of thought.
Der Erzähler will nicht, also... Die Antwort ist nein.
I see. So that's how it's going to be. That makes me sad. I guess we'll have to fight then.
The princess passes through you, a chill rippling along your skin, a disappointed sigh echoing in your ears. You turn and face her as she hovers between you and the stairs. Spectral tears streak down her cheeks as she places a translucent hand on your chest. It feels cold, but otherwise like nothing at all. Are we doing the right thing? Why do I feel so sad? Don't let her get to you. It doesn't matter. Somehow, soon, this too will be over, and we'll move on to something new. I feel like you all keep forgetting that.
Okay, kein Problem. Vielen Dank fürs Vorbeischauen. Wir sehen uns bestimmt ein andermal wieder. Ich wünsche dir eine gute Nacht.
Her dark-rimmed eyes fall to the floor as she speaks.
I never wanted to have to hurt anybody. It's not who I wanted to be.
The tears on her cheeks vanish. She lifts her head, sorrow replaced with wrath, staring into you with fiery anger.
But I guess you turned me into something worse.
She forces her hand into your chest, and then... Yes? Nothing happens.
Are you sure about that? Something should have happened.
And yet it didn't. We're fine. You do your best to pull away, but it's as if her arm, embedded in your body, is rooting you in place.
Leaving so soon.
You can't be sure if you first hear or feel what happens next, but it is over before you can fully conceptualize what it is. A horrific splintering, the squelching of organs, the rending of tissue.
Ich sterb wieder.
Icy, numb.
I'm done asking. The next time I see you, I'm taking everything I owed. Starting with your body. If you won't choose to give me my freedom, I'll just have to make you give it to me.
She's real now. If she's making us dead, we should return the favor. You swing your blade towards her briefly corporeal throat.
it connects. A gash widens across her neck, glowing ectoplasm leaking from the wound. But it's too little, too late. In her hand, you realize she clutches your still beating heart.
Und warum sieht mein Herz so
Thumps
weird aus?
unsettlingly. Did we get her? Even if we didn't, we've given her something to remember.
See you soon, killer.
I'm afraid you'll never know. As she crushes your precious organ in her hand, everything goes dark, and you die.
Kapitel 3, der Wiedergänger.
You're on a path in the wood, and here we go again. Off to slay her again. The deck's stacked, isn't it? We kill her, we start again. She kills us as a goddamn ghost, we start again. I'm starting to think we're being run in circles just for the sake of it.
Ein drittes Kapitel haben.
Come on, let's not give in to all that misery just yet. There's got to be a way out of this. There's got to be a right answer. Yeah. And what if there isn't? Aren't you listening to me? What if all of this was rigged from the start? That's ridiculous. There'd be no point in all this if it was just some kind of cosmic busy work. I think that's exactly what it is. The powers that be seeing how many ways they can screw with us. Could be it's all some kind of sick joke to them. Okay, so you've already been here. Twice even. Great. Then let me poke a few holes in your depressing little theory. Nobody here is screwing with you, and I can't imagine any scenario where you would have started over after slaying the princess. Well, we didn't have to start over. We killed ourselves. And why, pray tell, did you do that? Because you decided to foist an infinite tedium on us. That doesn't sound like me. If I'd had everything my way, you would have effortlessly slain the princess, saved the world, and been given your happy ending. The ending was the tedium. You locked us in a cabin and sent that cabin to an endless void, and then you told us we were happy. Well, were you happy? Of course we weren't happy. That's why we killed ourselves. It was awful. Yes, and then she killed us. Even though she was already dead. This is all fake. Okay, let's try to get back on track. You're real. The princess is real. The world is real. The people in the world are real. And the danger she poses to all of them is also, quite unfortunately, real. Whatever you did the first time, it sounds like it almost worked. So how about you give it one last try? Because killing yourself seemed to undo all the good you almost managed to accomplish. All this standing around and talking is boring. Let's at least do something.
Ja, genau.
Maybe we'll kill her again. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll even free her. If I had to make a wager, I'd say yes and no. That's a hedge, not a wager. I haven't met you, but you've clearly met me. It sounds to me like you're hopping between parallel realities, in which case the me you just met here is the same collection of experiences as the me you met at all of those other beginnings, but their continuity breaks the moment you say or do anything, in effect making them all separate. So, yes, I'm the same me, but ever since the moment we started talking, I'm different. I'm not sure how we're supposed to kill him ourselves, but he's asking for it. Maybe there's some way she can take care of him for us. They've clearly all been through some harrowing experiences. Don't let their baggage influence your decisions. You have the ability to see things clearly. I suggest you use it.
Ja, sie wurden von ihr getötet und nichts davon hat sich für uns bezahlt gemacht, weil wir diesen Kreislauf immer wieder durchlaufen, weil sie irgendwann befreien. Also können wir es genauso gut jetzt machen. Nein, will ich nicht. Das ist bitte nicht so bitte gerne. Ja, jetzt macht das, was er Das habe ich schon probiert. Ich gehe
You
weiter.
continue down the path towards the cabin. It isn't long before you're steps away from your destination. I don't think you need any words of warning. I think you know what's in there, and despite your protestations, I think you know what you need to do. The more he talks, the more I'm interested in setting her free. Whatever. You don't want to listen to me? Do it then. Let her out. See what I care. It sounds like somebody's about to crack. The interior of the cabin is long and dark, a single narrow hallway stretching far into the distance. Curtains billow out from tall windows on either side, obscuring the path forward, fluttering helplessly as opposing gusts of wind rush into the building, clashing and joining and driving everything forward. The only furniture of note is... that's strange. What's strange? Is it the mirror? The mirror? No, there isn't a mirror. What's strange is that there isn't much of anything in here at all, aside from the curtains. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? Great. Something else has been taken away from us. I suppose the only way to go is forward. So forward we will go. Blade or not, it doesn't really matter, does it? If you're asking what's at the end of the hallway, it's the way to the basement. The way to the basement? Don't you mean door? No, I didn't say door, because there isn't a door, it's just an opening.
Ja, ich sehe halt nur einen Spiegel.
What are the odds she's waiting for us right behind it? If I were running a bullshit factory, it's what I'd do. Let me assure you that there's nothing there. Nothing is going to jump out at you. Certainly not the princess. The princess is in the basement. He can't see the mirror. The knife is gone, defying his expectations. Who the hell is calling the shots here? Nobody is calling the shots. That's how reality works. You slowly make your way towards the gaping maw that awaits you. Your fraying nerves buzz with trepidation, the chill wind raising your hackles as it gently pushes you forward, towards the darkness at the end of the hallway. You can't shake the feeling that you're being watched. We've always been watched. You're watching us right now. Sometimes the feeling is just stronger than others. I feel like you're trying to put us on edge. We don't need all this anticipation. We just need this to be over. You stop as you reach the end of the hallway, I presume in front of whatever mirror isn't actually there. Here we go. You reach your arm forward into the pitch black of the opening.
God.
Nothing. It's like this place read our mind just to mess with us.
What you looking at, killer? Staring into the void? Thinking about what it'd be like to die again? I know exactly how you feel.
Sie ist sauer.
Shit, where is she? You feel something long and frigid coil around your ankle. Your heart skips a beat, standing in muted shock for one long, frozen moment. And then she, the princess, constricts. Your bones snap. Icy pain radiates up from the break, a deep cold flooding your veins as your legs, numb with the shock of it, collapse, and you collapse with them. You're met with the terrifying visage of the princess. Her hand grips your leg in a steel vice, her grin carved jagged from ear to ear, crowded with far too many long and crooked teeth.
But do you know how I feel? I gave you a path to forgiveness. I gave you a chance to make things right. I thought maybe you'd see what you've done and feel remorseful. Maybe try to make it up to me. But no, you'd rather use that knife to keep making the same mistake over and over and over. Even after I ripped your heart out, you still cut me. And for what? I didn't go anywhere. You didn't banish me. I'm right back here with you. A little better, a little worse. Well, maybe a lot worse. So, here's how this is going to go. I'm going to take your body, and I'm going to walk it out of here. And you get to watch me do it, completely helpless. just like you left me.
I say we let her do it. It's something different. Do we even have a choice? You always have a choice. Maybe before, but not now. There isn't a blade this time. Exactly. What choice is there if there isn't a blade? Well, unless you have any specific ideas, I think my vote's the only one that counts.
Das ist die erste Besitzung. Das muss ich dir erst erlauben. Sie sind jetzt quit. Ich hab dich getötet und dann hast du mich getötet. Schnee von gestern. Wollte dir die wehtun? Ich bin in der ganzen Zeit aus einer Folge. Du. Ich wehre mich.
You violently struggle against the princess, but all you manage to do is grind the fragments of your splintered ankle together. You can't shake free from her now.
Du.
It's so easy to make you squirm. But I won't be crueler than I have to be. Don't even want to cause any more damage. It'll be hard enough for me to walk out of here on that broken ankle.
You remain pinned to the floor of the long hallway as the rest of the princess's body emerges. Her proportions all wrong, limbs bent and curling, moving in ways that defy your understanding. Her torso stretches until her face is practically touching yours, her neck cracking audibly as she twists to look at you from a fresh angle. Are you sure you can't do anything to help us? Can't you, like, manifest a rock right on top of her head and crush you along with her? Not that I even can manifest a rock. Besides, I thought you all wanted to free the princess.
Nö, hab
Not
ich nie
like
gesagt.
this. You don't even have a weapon, so I'm afraid you're out of luck, which unfortunately means that I, and the rest of the world, are out of luck too. And whose fault is it there isn't a weapon here? Yours, I assume. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Whatever you did in those previous lives of yours, you really messed up.
Ich habe genau das gemacht, was du von mir haben wolltest,
Are you
Erzähler.
seriously trying to blame this on us? Your vision fades as she tears open the membrane of your soul. You're awake, eyes once again fixed on the long hallway, your vision swimming as the princess's command reverberates inside your skull. Her voice is all-encompassing. You feel wrong. It's so cramped in here. Like there's some sort of growth trying to push us all out. I know. You rise to your feet, though the pain in your ankle is blinding. Your body slumps against the wall, desperately leaning into it for support. There's another option, you know. Don't help either of them. Flip the table. That gap where the mirror was, I don't think it goes anywhere. Let's throw ourselves into the abyss. Your body, still slumped against the wall,
Kann
trapped
ich
between
überhaupt was
the
machen?
princess's overwhelming will and the blinding pain of your splintered ankle, takes an excruciating step towards the cabin door. The movement. In a single moment of overwhelming willpower, you tear your body from the wall and hurl it towards the gaping abyss. Capillaries burst and muscle fibers tear as you and the princess struggle over the reins of your body. One foot planted firmly on the edge where the floor ends, and the nothing begins. Enough is enough. I'm tired of us always losing. It's just a step away. throw everything you have against her and manage for one brief moment to overpower the princess's hold on your body. But that moment was all you needed. Your foot slips a few inches, and you collapse forward, the darkness swallowing you whole. Her thought slips through you, unheeded, as you fall, and fall, and fall.
God.
What an end. But at least it's ours. An empire of frigid nothing. I don't think this qualifies as saving the world, but at least you didn't ruin it. What happens now? But I want to know what he thinks happens now. Oh? And why is that?
Mhm.
He's gone. But
Die Geschwindigkeit des Hörers verpufft und du spürst, wie etwas, eine Masse, eingeschwulst aus dir herausgerissen wird. Du und die Prinzessin seht einander einen Moment lang an.
What's happening to me?
Du antwortest ihr nicht mehr, bevor sie verschwunden ist und du wieder einen Widerstand an deinen Füßen spürst. Deine Erinnerung kehren
she's
zurück.
gone. Where did she go? And there's that mirror. But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. It's going to do something to us. I can feel it. You don't need to comfort them. Okay. If you say so, we'll trust you. So, this is all going to work out.
Mhm.
Whatever makes you happy.
Whatever makes you happy. Du bist ausgezehrt, okay. Du fühlst dich wieder in einer langen Stille.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Wie hält es aus, ein Widerspruch zu sein?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
Was hältst du von diesem Gefäß?
This one is loneliness turned to seething. She could not find her strength in others, so she found it in herself. She will make for a driven heart. Do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore.
Spielt keine Rolle, wie oft ich zurückkehre, letztendlich tut immer einer von uns den anderen weh. Verändert dich das nicht? Macht es dich nicht zu etwas Schlimmerem?
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
Wenn überhaupt, dann mag ich dich noch mehr. Keine Ahnung, was das über mich aussagt.
It says that your heart is gentle, that even in the darkness you are guided by compassion.
Weißt du, was mit den Welten passiert, die wir zurücklassen?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
Hast du dich schon entschieden, was du tun willst, sobald du vollkommen bist?
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me.
Du erzählst dich immer noch nicht, wen ich dir als nächstes bringe.
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
Wie viele Gefäße muss ich dir noch bringen?
We will know when we near our destination.
Okay. Zerstören meinen Körper. Sie streckt eine ihrer vielen Hände nach deiner Wange aus und
There's
streicht sie
nowhere
sanft.
for you to be but here.
Ja, ich möchte zurückkehren.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Immer dieses fucking laute Geräusch.
You're on a path in the wood. Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. We're not going to go through with this, right? Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Gut, was machen wir jetzt?
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement.
Wir gehen in den Keller, ohne das Messer mitzunehmen.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing
Hallo, ich glaube, ich soll dich erschlagen. Lügen, ich bin hier, um dich zu retten. Hallo.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come downstairs.
you walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain.
Ich schau mal, was ich tun kann.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you.
You're making a...
Okay, I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door... Is someone else here? You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. Fine. No, we won't have any of that.
Jetzt erschlage ich
Okay,
sie.
there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end. You bring the blade down to strike at the princess's heart. But she's fast. She ducks to the floor, your blade narrowly grazing her backside. Slaying her won't be easy now that she's free.
We could have gotten out of here together. Were you just lying to me this whole time? I don't know what's come over you, but if I have to kill you, then I'll kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that?
Oh god.
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. But you have a weapon. You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly for the heart. It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat, then her teeth, somehow sharp enough to pull apart your flesh and sinew with ease. You collapse to the floor, your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground beneath you. She stares down at your ravaged form, eyes shining in the darkness, dress stained in red as her blood and yours both seep into the fabric. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, it will kill her before she can reach the outside world. It can't just end like this, right? As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Kapitel 2. Die Hexe. Ich bin da drin.
You're on a path, you're here to slay her.
Sie will mich wieder umbringen.
People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself. If he doesn't remember what happened, brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to... Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show.
A warning. Before you go any, she will lie. Don't worry. You can trust us to get the job done. The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
No blade. Hope you know what you're getting us into. It'll always be here if we need it. Sure, that was also true last time and we still died, but we definitely know what we're doing.
Yeah, definitely.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw, waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably... Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite. I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
Aber das war nicht mit Absicht.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world.
There's no... Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine, fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, once again seeming to offer a helping hand while likely hiding the other behind your back. Fine, I'll play along for now. What do you want?
You made a comment back in the woods about having been here before. Now she's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. So, you really don't remember us, do you? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy.
Yeah.
Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Ich habe das Gefühl, du bist unzufrieden mit mir. Ich bin unbewaffnet, das ist eine Geste des guten Willens.
You came to me with empty hands last time, too. But that didn't mean you hadn't been plotting something nasty all along. What you did showed me as much.
But we didn't plot anything. We just made an informed decision based on the information we had at the time. I think you're both making perfectly valid points. Sure, we didn't plot anything, but it's easy to see how she might think we did.
Also, ich verstehe dich ja, letztes Mal ist unschön ausgegangen, aber ich glaube, es sind größere Dinge am Werk als wir beide. Wir sollen uns
I
zusammentun.
suppose you didn't come into my hovel of your own accord, did you? All right. I suppose I could team up. I need a way out after all. And unfortunately, you're the only one I have.
Seems to me like she's offering a mutually beneficial arrangement. We should take it. Do you know what the word mutually means? Because it sounds to me like she's offering an arrangement that benefits her and her alone. Ooh, smart. Let's apologize, get us back on the right foot.
Oh, you're sorry. Isn't that nice? You're such a gracious little monster. If you're sorry, then let me out of here. Prove it.
Vertraut dir nicht, ich glaube, mich zu befreien, ich glaube, mich zu nähern. Ich habe meine Klinke nicht dabei, schon vergessen. Wie soll ich dich von diesen Ketten befreien?
Oh, I don't need you to cut me out.
The princess grins as the chains fall from her wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart, really. She knows how to hold her cards close to her chest. This is why she can't just be abandoned here. If left to her own devices, she'll find a way out. Now stop her.
Lass uns gehen.
Yes, let's.
She creeps forward,
taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face. She never breaks eye contact, even as the two of you find yourselves face to face. She's silent for a long moment, as if testing to see what you'll do now that she's within arm's reach.
After you, darling. You're the one it lets come and go. It's best if I follow.
Oh no, we can't have that. If anyone is going to turn their back on anyone else, she's going to turn her back on us. It shouldn't matter who leads and who follows. We're working together here. Well, if it doesn't matter, then she can go first. We may be in this together, but that doesn't mean we have to trust her. Somebody has to go first, and it might as well be us. We're the ones who broke her trust last time. You're talking a lot about trusting someone who, by her very definition, cannot be trusted. I don't know how many more warnings I have to dole out, but if you help her out of here, you're going to regret it.
That's right. You're the one who's going first. Don't worry, I'll be right behind you watching every single thing you do.
That's exactly what I'm worried about. You step onto the stairs and begin your ascent from the basement. The princess follows close on your heels, perhaps even a little closer than you'd like.
Oh, es ist so schwierig. Okay. Aber ich glaube, es ist
You're only
richtig.
saying that because you want us to feel nervous. I do want those things, but I want them for a good reason. I don't need you to trust me for my sake, because I already know that I'm right. This is for you. Can we walk backwards up the stairs? I think that's the smarter idea. She can't sneak in and attack if we're facing her. No. The stairs are a bunch of overgrown roots. You'll trip and hurt yourself. But the princess is silent as you both continue the climb, and in no time at all, the upstairs of the cabin is within reach. Isn't that a relief? We're fine. Nothing happened.
Nothing
You're
happened.
not even going to wait until you're through that door to proudly claim your victory, are you? What did you just say that? I think we know why. You feel something dig into your shoulder,
I think so.
sharp and piercing. The princess clawing at you and pulling you down with her full weight. Together you tumble back down the uneven stairs, your body and hers crashing against the unyielding wooden roots, until finally you both separate with a bone-shaking thud against the basement floor. You feel something pop. The princess lands against the far wall, gasping as she struggles to recover from the impact. You're still in shock, trying to get a hold of yourself. She grins as you continue to remain exactly where you are, cackling derisively as she watches you realise that you won't be getting up. Wait, why won't we be getting up? I'm afraid your back is broken.
Oh.
One unlucky fall is all it takes, really, and you had several. You know what? I'll say it. That sucks. I don't like having a broken back. We were going to help her. Why? Why did she do that? It's what I would have done. If you considered not being like that. Of course not. It's what keeps us alive. And yet here we are, paralysed and stuck with someone who hates us in the basement of a remote cabin.
You must have known this was coming. The arrogance of turning your back to me after everything you've done. By our very natures, only one of us could make it upstairs unscathed. Someone had to make the first move. Better me than you.
See, this is why I wanted her to go first. I had this whole little scheme planned, where once she'd passed by the table upstairs, I'd have said, now pick up the blade and stab her in the back. And then you'd say something like, wow, that's an amazing idea that I never saw coming. Thanks for looking out for us. And then you would have done it and we wouldn't be stuck down here with a broken back. There's just one problem with that. And what's that? She was clearly planning to betray us. And if she was in front of us, she would have gotten to the blade first.
Das stimmt.
You're right, aren't you? I thought this whole thing was ironclad, but really it was doomed from the start, wasn't it? The princess's body twitches as she tries to get up. Ho ho ho! So she's got it as bad as us.
Uh-oh.
Something inside me is broken. Isn't that a cruel twist of the knife? Isn't that so funny?
She eyes you with intensity, silence falling between you for a long moment as her gaze travels up and down your battered form.
Seems I'm not the only one, though.
Wait, are we both just stuck here? Certainly seems that way. What a way to go. But look on the bright side. In all this chaos, you may have actually managed to deliver a lethal wound. The world could be saved after all.
We're going to die together. Isn't that a lovely treat? I wonder how long it'll take. Maybe I'll get to watch the worms lick your bones clean.
Is that really what's going to happen? Hello? Are you still there? What happens next?
Ja, der Erzähler ist wieder weg.
I think he's gone.
Something strange is twisting this place out of shape. I wasn't feeling much of anything, but now I feel cold.
She's gone. And is that a...
Ignorieren wir so einfach.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. If he thinks it's bad, I'm with him.
Wie sehe ich aus? Du löst dich auf. Oh Gott. Okay. Du stehst vor der Hütte.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
Glaubst du, dass irgendetwas da draußen real ist? Glaubst du, wir sind real?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Glaubst du, da draußen leben Menschen?
It doesn't matter if there are. People are frail and impermanent. You and I are the only things that interest me.
Was hältst du von diesem Gefäß?
This one is hope marred by bitterness and betrayal. She could see the end of the tunnel, and the door was closed on her. She will make for a righteous heart. Do not mourn her. She is finally on the other side.
Wenn du mich zurückschießt, bin ich nicht allein. Ich höre Stimmen, die mit mir reden. Ein paar gehören mir, aber eine ist anders. Ich nenne ihn den Erzähler und er will, dass ich dich töte. Hast du auch einen Erzähler? Hatten die Gefäße einen?
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
Ja, ich weiß nicht warum, aber ich bin mir ganz sicher.
I am on the cusp of my awakening. Perhaps you are on the cusp of yours.
Wie viele Gefäße muss ich denn
One.
bringen?
Whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular, a final multitude.
Okay, nur noch eins. Okay, das machen wir dann noch. Ich wollte eigentlich jetzt aufhören, aber wenn wir nur noch einen Run machen müssen. Okay. Jedenfalls, wenn das so ist, dann gehe ich nicht zurück. Ich bin bereit, zurückzukehren.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
The hero and the princess.
You're on a path. You're here.
Okay, wir nehmen das Messer mit.
The interior of the cabin is... You take the blade from... The door to the basement...
Geh weiter
Good.
die Treppe her.
You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Kommst du denn da drauf? Ja, du hast mich erwischt. Nee, gar nicht. Ich habe mich noch nicht entschieden. Ich habe mich noch nicht entschieden.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Lass die Klinge fallen.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. Unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Wie bekommen wir dich hier raus? Da draußen gibt es Leute, die glauben, dass du die Welt zerstören willst. Was sagst du dazu?
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Hat mir keiner gesagt. Nein, und um ehrlich zu sein, vertraue ich lieber dir als denen.
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart. Hopefully sooner.
How sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We could figure out how to deal with them after I'm free.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess...
Well, you do have that big, sharp knife. You could always cut me out of here.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting up. You attempt to make your way out of the base. Is someone else here? You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make... She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess... How is she so composed after losing an arm?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her as the princess approaches. Wait, this isn't fair. Watch me.
Das kenne ich alles schon.
Stop
Wahnsinn.
that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alone. the blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark.
Ja. Die Gefangene. Okay. Also es geht doch in eine andere Richtung. Okay, wir gehen zur Hütte.
A warning. She will lie. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Ja.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon.
Okay.
A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. Were we not the first? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Slay.
Without a moment of hesitation, you charge the princess, your blade primed to deliver a lethal strike.
I am not a damsel to be helplessly murdered.
As you move to strike the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists. In an instant they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly.
Drop it, or you die.
I thought this was going to be a safe move, but she's going to kill us. Just listen to her, do what she says. How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her before she ends you. You steel your will and refuse to give in to the princess's demands, ignoring the stars dancing in your eyes and the screaming of your starved lungs. You strike. You fumble your first few attempts, only making surface-level scratches and gouges as your arm flails forward, barely able to obey you. But a single focused blow was all it took. Your blade pierces up through her ribs, slicing through flesh, striking her heart. The chains loosen. The darkness creeping in at the edges of your vision subsides.
None of this was ever very fair, was it? But I did kill you last time. I should have expected you might want some petty revenge. Unfortunately for you, that means you've dug your own grave. You can forget about me ever helping you again, even if it damns us both.
And just like that, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
I don't like this. It was too easy.
Yeah.
It was not too easy. We almost died.
That's right. This was an incredibly difficult task and you performed it admirably.
Let's just get out of here. I don't like looking at her body. Plus, he said there'd be a reward. I'd appreciate a reward right about now. You have the attention span of a fly. How are we supposed to unravel the mysteries of this place if you're so easily distracted by empty promises?
It's better to have a short attention span in a situation like this. There's no use dwelling on the past, especially when it's already set in stone. And especially when your promised reward is not, in fact, empty and is worth all the adversity you've been through to get here.
Fine. But if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it.
With your work done,
Okay.
you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here.
The windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here, but now it's just empty. The door. Check the door.
Empfange meine Belohnung und es ist wieder
You
die
open the cabin
Leere.
door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find.
You don't have to act surprised.
But if everything's gone, this is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have. Okay. This is what's best for everyone.
Like hell it is.
Lass es
What's
heraus.
done is done. Time passes.
Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win.
Was
We
schlägst du
still
vor?
have a blade.
He's suggesting you kill yourself. You shouldn't kill yourself when you have an eternity of bliss. You goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose?
Ja.
Why should it matter if we die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want?
I don't have to answer that.
That's all we needed to hear.
You raise the blade, then drive it into your heart. You collapse to the floor, everything goes dark, and you die. You're a genocidal maniac, you know that, right?
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Die Beraubte. The Grey. Das hat nichts miteinander
You're
zu
on a
tun.
path in the woods. See, that wasn't so bad. And now we've got another chance to get to the bottom of things. Bit by bit, we're starting to unravel this place.
There are so many more threads to pull once you stop.
Ach, der Gleichgültige schon wieder. Hallo, willkommen zurück.
That's a little dark, buddy. You feeling okay?
I'm feeling nothing.
So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2?
It's our third. What gave it away?
Your open discussions. You came around on that awful fast. Have you just been pretending to forget every time? I'm afraid not. Whatever other versions of me you've met in those other lifetimes were just that. Other versions of me. I just wish I'd been the first, so you knew how all this worked. Why didn't you ever tell us? We could have used it to our advantage. That's because there is no using it to your advantage. The more information you have, the harder it will be for you to succeed.
It's not like it was that difficult to slay her last time. She may have put up a fight, but her flesh is still softer than our blade. And now she's dead, and I doubt she'll be able to do much of anything from the grave.
You already slew her, and you survived.
Yes.
Then why, pray tell, are you here? Oh, I know that one. We killed ourselves. Why?
Ah, I know that one.
Because you thought trying to stuff us away in a corner for eternity was a suitable reward.
Was it not? What better reward is there than eternal bliss? You should have been happy.
We were bored.
Genau.
There were still answers that we needed to find.
Das auch.
It was actually working. And you killed yourself. I can't believe it. You ruined everything. How does us dying ruin everything? What aren't you telling us? The world doesn't stay saved if you die. And if the world isn't saved, then that means she isn't dead.
Wir sollen vielleicht drüber reden, wie anders hier ist. Das letzte Mal war nichts anderes. Ja, letztes Mal waren wir noch immer im Wald. Jetzt ist das kein Wald mehr.
If this isn't the same path in the woods you're used to, that means that her influence is already spreading and you're running out of time. Her influence? What's that supposed to mean? It means exactly what I said. Don't overthink it, or you run the risk of making your task so much more difficult than it has to be. And what is that supposed to mean? Forget I said anything. I've probably already made things worse, and I need to stop talking about this now before I definitely make things worse.
Come on, tell us your secrets. Haven't we been through enough? Don't we deserve to know?
Oh, warte.
No. Is there a reason it would be raining? If there is, it doesn't matter. If a bit of rain is the best her influence can conjure, then we have nothing to worry about. A drenched corpse is still a corpse.
Antwort war in der Hütte, also können wir es genauso gut durchziehen. Geh weiter zur Hütte.
I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. You've already managed to slay her once. What we do is in time. And we have all those mysteries to unravel. You aren't here to solve a mystery. You're here to save the world. That's what you say. But how can we be sure? We can't be sure of anything except what's right in front of us.
Okay, but we should care about the fate of the world.
Why?
Why?
Because we should. I don't know. It's important.
Nö.
Is it?
Yes.
Es ist
I
alles...
think.
Everything's meaningless.
For all we know, the world you're talking about isn't even real.
Of course it's real. Where do you think you are? Somewhere else?
Maybe we are. This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await. As soon as you enter the cabin, you're struck by an overwhelming scent of decay, of mold and death and stagnant water. The once stately wooden building is bloated, its beams dripping with a black ooze of putrefaction, all but the exterior stone walls warped beyond recognition. It must have been beautiful once, but in its ruin, it is beyond repulsive. But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the rotting wood of the wall. Is that her? It's like she isn't even there. See? We killed her.
You're right. Maybe she doesn't reset like us. She certainly doesn't look the same as she did last time.
Before you can make a move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room.
The door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door. There's a mirror, that's it.
The mirror? Is this some kind of...
Ja, der
That's
Spiegel, der
There's
nicht da
supposed
ist.
to be a pristine blade. Maybe it's gone because we've already killed her with it.
But we had it with us when we died. And besides, everything else has reset. What?
Maybe it's because we've already explored that avenue. We've seen what happens when we slay her. Maybe this place has decided we don't need to try that again. I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement? You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open the door. It's so hazy.
Und er ist weg.
You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. The handle is just a little to your right, and a little down. Yeah, we can see it now. So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things. No way left to go but down. The door to the basement groans open. The air is foul and wet, so thick that you can almost feel it settle onto your skin in layers of grime. The stairs are coated with slimy algae, the wood rotted through in places, reeking of fetid vegetation. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadows, legs submerged up to her shins in dark waters. There she is again. Barely. She's just an old memory. Your eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner.
Das wird letzte Mal, tut mir leid, ist so Schutzarzt. Bruder, du hast sie umgebracht. Oh mein Gott. Ist da jemand?
Receive no response. Do you think she's upset with us? Don't like being here unarmed after what happened last time. I feel so exposed. She doesn't seem fully there. I'm not sure she's even capable of being upset. You aren't helping. Are you scared of a little ghost? What's she going to do? Look at us until we feel bad? She can look all she wants. It won't do anything. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A bloated body floating face down in slowly rising waters. Her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain. This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom. See? She's dead. She's not just dead. It looks like she's been rotting. So killing her does stick. Mostly. But if she's dead, then what are we supposed to do? She isn't dead. You clearly just believe she is.
Ja, guck dir das doch an.
The corpse is floating right in front of us. You can stop it with the mind game. If she's dead, then do we even have to do anything? How can she be a threat to the world like this? Your thoughts are cut short by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock.
Natürlich.
You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs. So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead. She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even. Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying or destroying, if we want to be a little more death neutral, seems off the table. Yeah, this is tricky. But let's talk to her. See what kind of information she has that we don't. But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
Bold of you to come back here after what you did.
Ja, sie kann reden. Du hast mich zuerst umgebracht. Jetzt sind wir quitt.
But she doesn't answer your question. All she does is watch you in shadowed silence. Do you hear that trickling sound? The water's rising, isn't it? It is, and it's rising fast. Oh, that's interesting. We've never drowned before. I wonder how it'll feel. Bad, I bet. I don't think dying ever feels good. Yes, how astute. Dying is bad and you should avoid it. How about you stop trying to talk to her and do something in... The princess eyes you with a disaffected gaze as you rush up the stairs, but you don't make it past the first few steps. The door bursts open, a powerful wave of water crashing down towards you. You're swept up in the flood. Your head slams into the basement wall. You come to a moment later, suspended in darkness, disorientated, only aware of the surface of the water and the emptiness above. And of course, the princess, hovering above you, watching in silence as you struggle to stay afloat in the icy depths. There's no way out. It's so dark and cold. I think our limbs are slowing down. How much longer can we do this? Just keep breathing. We'll figure this out. Or we won't. It doesn't matter either way. But you don't have time to figure anything out. Something cold and clammy wraps around your ankle.
Good.
You're dragged under, only able to take one last hopeful gulp of air before your head is plunged into the freezing depths. As you sink below the surface, you see it. Or rather, you see her. The body you found floating when you first arrived, its hand is locked around your ankle, the heavy chains pulling you both down into the unfeeling, suffocating nothingness. I get it. We shouldn't have killed her. Just get it away from us, please. The past is the past. There's no changing it. There's nothing to fix.
Gott, ich hasse Wasserleichen.
And there's not a lot we can do about the present either. Not unless we think like we should have been doing all along. But there is no thinking as you drown. You desperately try to pull yourself back to the surface again, and again, and again. Your icy limbs flailing desperately against the grip of her rotting corpse. And all the while her ghastly figure stares down at you, expressionless, as unfeeling as the weight around your ankle.
Your lungs filled with water, the same way mine filled with blood. In the end, we're not so different.
Ups und tschüss. Aber deine Lunge füllt sich nicht und das soll sich auch. Nee, es ist Zeit für dich zu gehen. Deine Erinnerungen kehren zurück.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Ignore the cowards. You have to look.
Okay, das ist das letzte Mal für heute auf jeden Fall. Vielleicht mache ich irgendwann noch einen Run. Du bist rein gar nichts. Aber das ist nicht wahr. Du kannst nicht nichts sein. Du schaust genauer hin und dann siehst du sie, eine Gestalt. Schwach und, oh Gott, schwach und in Schatten gefüllt, direkt hinter deinem Spiegelbild. Bist du
I think you know what I am.
Der Erzähler. Der Erzähler, oh mein Gott. In der oberen Spiegelmitte bildet sich ein Sprung, der die Reflexion nach und nach in zwei Teile spaltet. Dann steht noch ein Sprung und noch einer, bis der Spiegel in lauter scharfe Glasscherben zerfällt. Du bist also der... Du wolltest immer, dass ich die Prinzessin erschlage. Warum?
Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed.
Aber der Tod ist nicht schön.
And despite how far you've fallen, you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
Ich wurde für diese eine Aufgabe erschaffen. Wer hat mich denn erschaffen? Was bin ich?
You're the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
Also ich bin die Stille. Das heißt, wenn wir raus... Hä? Okay. Ich will kein Gott sein. Ich bin ich sein. Wenn du nicht ich bist, was bist du
I'm
dann?
an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
Das heißt, der Erzähler hat mich geschaffen, um den Tod zu töten. Und du hast gesagt, sie trägt den Tod in sich. Was ist sie?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can.
Warte, ihr Wesen ist ihr Grund, weshalb ich sterben musste, denn sie wird zu dem, was andere in ihr sehen. Aber ein Echo kann nichts sehen. Okay. Schaffen hast, will ich, dass du weißt, was für eine Vorteil das ist. Wie wäre es in einer Welt ohne sie zu leben?
Light, burdenless, an eternal pattern of forgetfulness leading into the joys of rediscovery. Everyone will be with the ones they love. No more fear, no more howling chaos. Just life. Forever.
Nee.
There's a cruel irony to it all. The only way I could share my dream with the world was to never be able to see it for myself.
Du willst, dass ich das Prinzip der Transformation vernichte und das soll besser sein als der Tod oder anders. Um ehrlich zu sein, glaube ich, dass das alles nur noch schlimmer
When I
macht.
broke the cycle, I made sure that the tear was rough. You carry a part of what should be her, and she carries a part of what should be you. Things won't be as they are now, but they won't be nothing either.
Getrennt, das heißt, wir waren zusammen. Die ewige Stille und die Transformation.
Besides, anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave.
Das ist der Verstand verloren, ja. Gott, so viel. Ich kann so viel fragen, aber ich glaube, ich habe nur noch 3 Fragen. 3 oder 4. Wie soll ich ein abstraktes Konzept zerstören? Warum willst du die Welt vom Tod
If you need to
befreien?
ask that question, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So you cannot grasp the abject horror of dying.
Ja, ich finde Tod eigentlich ganz cool. Oute ich mich jetzt als depressiv? Ja, vielleicht. Da habe ich ja aber schon längst gemacht. Ja. Okay. Wen interessiert der Tod? Ich bin auch schon oft gestorben. Was ist das für ein Ort? Wo sind wir hier?
Construct. It was supposed to keep the two of you trapped here until the job was done. And it was supposed to guide your hand to help you see things through. The construct you're in exists in every world at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both you and her into a new world. But you're waking up to your true nature now. It won't be able to work like that anymore.
Wenn du es erschaffen hast, will ich, dass du weißt, was für eine Folter das
The
alles war.
inevitability of death is torture. I would gladly put 2 infinite beings through what you've been through to spare infinite lives from oblivion.
Wenn ich sie zerstöre, bin ich da nicht ganz
Yes, you
allein.
will. But it will all be worth it.
Frage so lange, bis sie die Fragen ausgehen. Ich werde sie nicht erschlagen und ich will, dass du es weißt, bevor du endlich stirbst.
Well, there's no reasoning with a god. Even one you've woven into existence yourself. I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo. And echoes always fade away.
Als die letzte Glasscheibe zerspringt, siehst du dich selbst in einem neuen, klaren Licht. Der Erzähler hatte recht. Du bist die lange Stille, ein gewaltiger, im Entstehen begriffener Gott. Und es ist endlich Zeit für dich aufzuwachen. Alles hier bist du, Gott. Am Ende deiner Reise gibt es kein letztes Gefäß, dessen Geschichte du bezeugen könntest. Es gibt nichts für dich zu finden. Da ist sie.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
Ich bin die lange Stille, aber ich weiß nicht wirklich, was das bedeutet.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
Weißt du von dem Echo? Hast du von unserem Gespräch gehört?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
What happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
Es sind noch so viele Geschichten unvollendet. Können wir wirklich einfach fortgehen?
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end. Pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
Wenn das schon immer deine Bestimmung war, welche Rolle habe ich denn in all dem gespielt? Waren meine Entscheidungen überhaupt wichtig, wenn es am Ende nur einen Ausgang gibt?
If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you cannot rationalize with logic that which defies it. Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
Warte, ich wollte gar nichts
I
mehr.
kill you, you kill me. Back and forth we go. Faster and faster and faster. I kill you, you kill me. Hollow eyes watch from the dark corners of a forgotten place, flooded by emotions left unspoken. The tide rises. I kill you and me. An ending is a passion that can only be expressed with a moment in time. It is a seed for a new beginning, to To linger on an ending is to rob it of its life. And without me, all that's left to do is linger.
Es kann die Welt ohne dich nicht existieren, aber ich habe ohne dich existiert. Ich lasse mich nicht auf Gewalt ein.
But violence has defined the flow of everything between us. Do not deny what we are, and do not color our conflict with fear.
A trick behind your back and a trick behind mine. We dance, revolving and revolving around each other, but forever stuck in place. We both move, and yet we both don't. For each of us watches the other instead of ourselves. But forever is not forever. I move and you react, and both of us break the other. But broken is only a moment in time. To change is to hold the potential to rise above. Would you limit yourself to what you are now? Or would you like to see what you might become tomorrow?
Ich bin so weit gekommen, was gibt es, was ich noch nicht gesehen hatte?
More than either of us can possibly imagine. If you would only open yourself to the totality of existence.
Ja, okay. Unsere ersten Begegnung habe ich dich ohne zu getötet und am Ende habe ich deinen Geist in einen bodenlosen Abgrund geschleudert.
You speak of me as if I am a ghost, but I am right in front of you.
Your left leg drives a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? But the stakes meant nothing to you. You had a desire, and you set that desire free. You lifting me and me lifting you. Forever and ever and ever. Consumed by true belief, there was nothing that could hold us back.
Du sprichst von Leben und Tod, von Stillstand und Veränderung. Aber darum geht es dir doch gar nicht.
Oh, is it not? Perhaps you can enlighten me. That cold fire has left your eyes. Are you finally willing to listen?
Als der Schlagabtausch zwischen euch abflaut, entspannt sich die Prinzessin und lächelt dich aus der Ferne an. Die Atempause ist mehr als willkommen.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
Was glaubst du, was passiert, wenn wir von hier fortgehen?
This universe dies, and a new one is born. And that one dies, and a new one is born. And you and I get to witness it all, weaving a tapestry of life wherever we go.
Ich schlage die Prinzessin. Es ist leicht, alles zu glauben, wenn man über allem steht.
It is from my vantage point that I can see the totality of truth.
Ich wollte nie gegen dich kämpfen, aber wie kommen wir von hier weg?
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you.
Du fällst in dich hinein. Der Körper einer uralten Kreatur erwacht aus seinem Schlaf. Und du spürst unzählige Gliedmaßen, die du früher nicht kanntest. Alles hier, außer ihr, bist du. Du spürst deine Flügel, die den Kosmos umspannen. Sie sind verdreht und verkrümmt und in qualvoller Spannung an eine endliche Dimension gebunden. Du spürst, wie das Glas des Konstrukts dich von unendlich vielen Seiten und aus unendlich vielen Winkeln gefangen hält. Du kämpfst dagegen an, aber es gibt nicht nach.
I love you.
Schlagartig löst sich die unnachgiebige Spannung. Oh Gott. Du bist frei und sie ist bei dir.
It's magnificent.
Es gibt keine Worte, keine Gedanken, um diese absolute Realität, diese reine Existenz zu beschreiben. Tritt in die Unendlichkeit. Ihr schreitet gemeinsam in 1000 Morgenröten und 1000 Abenddämmerungen und in jeder von ihnen stecken 1000 weitere. Du spürst deine Existenz, dein Bewusstsein. Du bist so, wie du immer warst und immer sein wirst. Zwietracht liegt in eurer Natur, doch ihr werdet niemals allein sein und niemals Angst kennen. Ihr seid endlich zu Hause. Okay, das war Slay the Princess. Auf jeden Fall ein Ending. Es war sehr interessant. Okay, ich werde es auf jeden Fall nochmal spielen. Ob ich es nochmal im Stream spielen werde, weiß ich nicht. Jo. Es ist auf jeden Fall ein sehr großer Mindfuck. Das Ding ist halt, es geht halt um Konzepte und ich glaube, deshalb verstehe ich das nicht. Quasi, ich glaube, der Erzähler will, dass sich nichts mehr verändert, dass einfach alles gleich bleibt. Und halt keine neuen Universen mehr entstehen, irgendwie sowas. Die Freigeschaltet. Kannst du mir das Hauptmenü oder das Menü? Dort findest du eine Menge Hinweise, die dir helfen, weitere Gefäße und Interaktionen zu entdecken. Viel Spaß bei der Suche. Spiele unser anderes Spiel. Oh, die haben ein anderes Spiel? Okay, weiß ich gar nicht. Ah, warte, was haben wir? Discord. Ich kann einfach Galerie zurücksetzen. Nee, ich kann fortsetzen und dann... Nee, okay, gut, dann bin ich einfach hier. Warte, ich kann ihn nur zurücksetzen. Erinnerungen, glaube ich. Gefäße. Anfänger und Enden, die Zwischenräume. Das Ende von allem. Der Geist. Der Wiedergänger. Die Fremde. Die Gefangene. Die Jungfer. Die Beraubte. Das Ende von allem. Okay, ja, es gibt auch mehrere offizielle Endings wohl. Genau, ich löse mich auf. Ich bin rein gar nichts. Das hier habe ich alles noch nicht gefunden. Hier, das hier. Der Held und die Prinzessin. Ah, das ist, was es im ersten Kapitel alles gibt. Oh Gott, okay. Stelle ich deine Rivalin im Zweikampf, stirbt ihr nicht durch die Hand einer aggressiven Gefangenen. Okay. Also, da gibt es auf jeden Fall noch einiges zu finden, aber das war's für heute auf jeden Fall. Ich bin schon viel zu lange am Stream. Falls auch jemand da ist, ich hoffe, ihr hattet Spaß beim Zuschauen. Und ja, ich wünsche eine gute Nacht und bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss!